Welcome to the world's first Straight Talk Solarcast. This is your go-to podcast for answers about solar. Brought to you by Solar Harmonics in Northern California, who invite their customers to own their energy by purchasing a solar panel system for their home, business, or farm. Each episode, we discuss questions facing people making the decision to go solar. The solutions to your questions are given to you straight by one of the leading experts in the solar industry, Jamie Duran, president of Solar Harmonics. Feel free to search our library for answers to questions that you're facing when considering solar. And now, here's Adam Duran, our host with the questions, and Jamie Duran, our solar expert with Straight Talk Solarcast.
Hello, Jamie.
Hello, Adam.
How's everything in the land of solar this week?
Oh, it's exciting. Lots of people are, looking at the stock market and looking at what's happening with the tariffs. And we need to get going on solar right now. And a lot of people are saying, well, maybe we should hold off. Maybe we should wait, see how things are going. And like you always say, and I always say, no better time to go solar than right now. And so we never know what's going to happen tomorrow with all of this stuff. But it's good time right now with everything.
Probably not going to get cheaper tomorrow.
Probably not going to be cheaper, and incentives may be there, may not be there.
No.
We can't. I had a client just say, I really want to move forward, but we're really not sure what's going to happen. And I'm like, well, we know what's happening today. So,
maybe PG&E will go out of business and all of our energy will be free forever.
Ever
thought about that, Jamie?
I have, and I just don't see that. It'd be more like a zombie apocalypse if the power grid went out.
Sure.
So people, we've already seen that. You better have your toilet paper hoarded, because that's the first thing people go to when things get a little crazy.
Oh boy.
Yep. But it is funny that you mentioned PG&E, because there is a new bill in the California State Assembly that is intending, if you have solar before 2023, you're kind of grandfathered into this net energy metering 1.0 or net energy metering 2.0. And this new bill would like to move you into the net energy metering 3.0.
Oh, that doesn't sound good for me.
That does not sound good for you, because you're on a 20-year plan where any excess energy you get rewarded at retail rates under NEM 1.0, 2.0, but under NEM 3.0, you only get about 7 cents a kilowatt hour. So I'm not sure how this is working, but you can just change the law, and just so you can write to this assembly person. It's Lisa Calderon. She's a Democrat in Assembly District 56.
How big of a difference is that? Just so our listeners know. So
this would
7
be,
cents.
So normally, like this time of year, we're not quite in the summer months, but in the summer months, it'll be, if you had excess power you're sending back to the grid in the middle of the day, you're rewarded at about 65 cents a kilowatt hour.
Okay.
And this bill would make it so it's only about 7 cents a kilowatt hour.
Oh.
So
what Calderon?
Lisa Calderon, Assembly Bill number 942, that would move existing solar projects, basically moves everyone to the NEM 3.0 program. And I don't get it.
Do these people not want to stay in office? I mean, this sounds silly.
Sounds silly unless you're PG&E, and then you're thinking it's a no-brainer.
Woo!
So, yeah, now it's like, whoa, yes, of course. That's why didn't we do that already? And so, it's something to consider. And
what's to consider?
I don't know. It's just hopefully not. I would, if I'm listening to this and I'm in California, I think I might reach out to her office and to my own assembly person, who I'm sure you know who that is in your district, and let them know that you are not in favor of this, because it's kind kind of crazy, and it would change the economics of going solar. And if, for anyone who has solar in the NEM 2.0 or below, they would kind of really, the impact would be is not having a full offset of the electricity costs. So basically, fall and winter, you would expect some kind of electricity bill. More than likely, spring, summer, fall, you'd be okay. And it would make battery storage more attractive if you wanted to store some of the excess power rather than sending it back to the grid. So something to keep in mind, Adam.
Lisa Calderon.
Yes.
I'm writing it down now.
Okay. Well, it'll be in the show notes, and you can.
Wow.
But it's more important to write. She's not in your district, so she wouldn't mind. She might hear from you, but she's really paying attention to the people in her district. So it's important to write to your assembly person. And if you don't know who that person is, you can just Google it. It's very simple.
Yep. I'm assuming that she has one person in her district, and its name is PG and E. Wow.
Maybe not one person, but it's
one entity.
I imagine there's some lobbying happening there.
Wow.
But it is, this happened in February, so it could be coming up for a vote pretty soon. So I highly recommend everyone contact if you're in California, especially if you're in California. If you're not in California, this is just what's coming down the road for you. If your state does have net energy metering, is that they really want to get rid of it. So it's something to consider when you're thinking about solar, or you have solar, or you're moving to a new place that might have solar or needs solar or anything. Net energy metering is kind of a big deal.
Is there a political body on the opposite side that would say, hey, let's get rid of this. Let's just go back to the way it was, kind of?
Yes. That's everyone else except for the utility companies. And everyone else is a much smaller lobby, apparently. So
there is no other side of the coin here.
There are. I mean, there's environmental groups, and it's just they have very little influence compared to the massive influence and the massive amount of money that PG&E contributes to the state legislature every year. Are you just figuring out this is how adulting is, Adam? It's all about the money. If your group has the most money, you're probably going to do pretty well in the political area. Okay. The next one I wanted to talk about is, are you familiar with what a heat pump is?
Yes.
Okay. So California really is starting to push people to getting heat pumps rather than replacing their natural gas furnace with another natural gas furnace when it goes out. A heat pump produces heat, but it uses electricity, and it's not really a heating element. It's kind of like a reverse refrigerator. So you can kind of, it uses the heat that is generated from the heat pump equipment, and it does a great job of keeping a really even temperature in the home. The downside is that electricity is way more expensive than natural gas, and so it definitely makes sense to add solar when you have a heat pump. And so there's lots of legislation now that is really pushing to make heat pump permitting much easier and heat pump rebates better, and hopefully getting more heat pumps into homes rather than the natural gas furnaces. And so there's State Senator Scott Wiener with SB 282. He has introduced the Heat Pump Access Act that would make it easier for people to get heat pumps installed with fewer permit issues and faster permit approval. And then they could also do a self-certification for the contractors who are installing these to make sure that they are staying code compliant. And then also the fees for the heat pumps would be standardized. So that'll all help. That'll all help. You're very happy to hear that, I'm sure.
I'm still overwhelmed with your first story. Sorry, man.
Oh, okay. Well, these are, there's tons and tons more. I was going to talk a little bit about the tariffs that were imposed and the impact on the solar industry, but we've definitely talked about that. And now the tariffs have pretty much been placed on hold until, for 3 months. And then we'll see what happens after that. But basically, it's kind of what we said at the beginning. There's no better time to go solar than right now. And people are waiting to go solar. They're never excited about, okay, I'm ready to go. And now things have changed. And so we want to make sure that people are still excited to go solar. So there's no surprises at the time they go solar or even after they go solar. We want everyone to have clear expectations of what's happening in the world of solar. So I just want to thank you to anyone who's listening to this podcast. And if you are considering solar or you have a place of work that needs electricity, now is a good time to go solar, and sooner is better. And nothing saying that today's deal that is with the utility is going to be there when even next year. So it's a good time to make your own power, because they can't really take your own. If you're making your own power, they can't really take that away from you, but they can do lots of other things to make it more difficult, more challenging, less attractive. But PG&E had 7 increases passed this in the last 12 months. And that is never going to change. They're going to continue asking for increases, and every utility is. And so it's just a matter of when and how much. And so making your own power will always make more sense.
Yeah, that's why we've been doing it.
All right. Sounds good.
Show. Sheesh. All right, we're going to wrap it up there.
Yep, that's it.
All right, and we're going to wrap it up there. Thank you very, very much for taking some time out of your week to learn a little bit more about solar. It's always changing. There's always something happening in the land of solar. If you're a longtime listener, you know it's true. Wow. Every week, there's something else popping up. If you have a question for Jamie for an upcoming episode, you can go to our Facebook page, Straight Talk Solarcast, send us a message through there. If you'd like to check out a library of our past episodes, you can go to solarharmonics.com, click on the podcast link at the top of the page, and you'll be taken to that library. It's searchable, so check it out. Lastly, if you have a friend who's considering going solar, this would be an excellent podcast to refer them to. It will save them thousands upon thousands of dollars over the life of their system. So what better friend is that, we always ask? I don't know. Until next time, see you.
That's all for now. Thank you for listening to this episode of Straight Talk Solarcast with solar expert Jamie Duran. Join us each week for more answers to your solar questions. Speaking of questions, got some? Email us at solarcast@solarharmonics.com and we'll be sure to give you an answer in an upcoming episode. This episode of Straight Talk Solarcast is brought to you by Solar Harmonics, the leading solar energy developer in Northern California, who invite you to own your energy. Visit them on the web at www.solarharmonics.com.